Are you a Northern Kentucky homeowner who's thinking about selling their house for cash? Well, this is one that we bought as investors for cash. We turned it around. We're actually heading to closing today. But let's walk through this house here in Fort Mitchell, Kentucky and check it out. All right, so hey everyone, my name is Eric Stanio from We Buy NKY Houses. I'm also a realtor at Keller Williams Realty and teamstanio.com. So I'm both a Northern Kentucky cash buyer investor as well as a realtor with Keller Williams. And this was a house that a seller reached out to us. We're in the Beechwood School District here in Fort Mitchell. And we came out and talked through the options with them and said, hey, what do you guys want to do? Here's what the cash offer would look like. Here's what you could do if we put it on the market. And it needed some love, it needed a little bit of work, and we'll show you what that looked like on some of the things we did in this house. But today, we finished up our rehab on the property. We put it on the market. As you guys can imagine, in this market today, it went very fast. There were multiple offers, especially for the Beechwood School District, which obviously a lot of people try to get in. And we're on a really cute street here, Pleasant Ridge Avenue here in Fort Mitchell, Kentucky. So let's go check out and see what were some of the changes we did on this house, and then we'll talk about your options. If you're a seller, if you're thinking of selling for cash, or if you're thinking of putting it on the market, the advantage in working with us at We Buy NKY Houses and Team Stanio is we can give you both options, and we'll walk you through that. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, why would anyone want to sell to a cash buyer, especially in this market, and especially maybe in Beechwood Schools here in Fort Mitchell? Well, there's a number of reasons why. This is the reason why it might be helpful to work with a cash buyer who's also a real estate agent or realtor, so that we can present to you multiple options. And the way I usually like to explain it to people is there's kind of three factors you're considering. There is money, which is important when you're selling your house. There is speed, and there is hassle, okay? So if you're thinking through, and sorry for the echoiness of this, the house, it's all empty. It looks pretty good though, doesn't it? When you're thinking about selling your house for cash, it's the fastest by far. It's the easiest because you don't have to do a thing. And so if you have a house like this one that needed quite a bit of updates, you can sell it without having to lift a finger, which is nice. On the downside for you, the seller, it's gonna be the least amount of money, right? Because not only do we need to factor in the repairs to make the house look great like it does right now, but we also need to factor in profit. And so everyone, and some of our fixed costs as well. So like when we go to resell it, like I'm going to sell it today, I'm closing on it, I have to pay the buyer's agent. I'm the agent, and so I don't have to pay for myself on the listing side, but on the buyer side, I've got to pay 3% to that agent. So that's a cost to me when I go to sell it. So whether you are working with an agent and paying that 6%, which is generally pretty typical in the Cincinnati area, or not, I need to pay for that as the investor on the flip side when I go to resell it. So speed, hassle, and money. Now, if you were to fix it up yourself, the way I explain it, so let's say cash option is option A. That's option A. If you were to fix it up and sell it yourself, I call that option C. That's gonna be the longest amount of time, the most amount of hassle for you, but you also make the most amount of money. So even after you pay the real estate agent commission of 6%, what you don't have to factor in is that investor profit, because you're selling it to an owner occupant and not another investor. And that's probably how, 80 to 90% of the homes get sold, is people think they gotta do all this work and fix it up and try to get the most money. And if that's your goal, if your goal is to get the most money, then yeah, I would say call a real estate agent, call myself or somebody else, and let them come in and give you tips on design and what you should do in terms of updates on the house to get the most money. So that maybe is option C, which is fixing it up and putting it on the market. It's gonna take the longest, it's gonna take the most work, but you'll probably net out the most money in the end. And then there's option B, which is somewhere in the middle, which is you could put it on the market and still sell it to an owner occupant instead of an investor, but you're selling it more as is, or you're doing just a little bit of cleanup and maybe some minor repairs. So that's gonna be kind of the medium amount of time, the medium amount of hassle, and probably the medium amount of money. Even if you go that route, you're probably gonna make more, it depends on the house and the neighborhood and all that, than if you sell it to a cash investor. So you'll make more money, and it's kind of the middle road. And so when I come and talk to sellers, I give them the options of, do you want it fast? What do you want? What's your motivation? What matters to you the most? Out of speed, hassle, and money, which one matters to you the most? And then I give you different options and you can choose what's best for you. This house turned out really well. My dad, who works with me on some of these projects, he managed the entire flip. And as you guys can see from probably some of the before and after photos, we did a lot to this house. We put in a brand new kitchen. That was a bit of a mess, so we kind of opened that up, did a whole new redesign, new cabinets, new granite countertops, brand new stainless steel appliances, really beautiful. We did lighting throughout. We refinished the hardwood floors all throughout the house. And this was the challenge up here, was this bathroom at the top of the stairs. It was really tight. There was not a lot of space. There was like mold because there was no vent before. So we cleaned all that out, remediated everything. Did a whole new design. There was a bit of a closet here, so we kind of knocked that out, and we were able to put this vanity in here, so you actually have some room to breathe, to move around. Brand new tile, brand new shower insert, brand new toilet, brand new everything. So it turned out really well. You guys can check it out from the before and after pictures, what it looked like before. So the reality is motivation is different for the seller, right? And you might be thinking to yourself, well, why wouldn't you want to get the most amount of money? Well, there are different life circumstances for everybody and every different seller. So in this scenario, I came out and I said, hey, if you put it on the market as is, even with this work, I think this is what you could sell it for. This is what you would net. But here's my cash offer, and here's, and the work that I need to do to put into it. And the sellers weighed that, and they're like, we just want to be done. We don't want to deal with it. That offer is good with us because they lived in this house for several years. Like many people in Fort Mitchell, they put their children through the great school system, and now they didn't need that school system anymore. So they're like, hey, we don't want to pay the high property taxes in Beechwood anymore. We don't want to maintain and manage a house and put in the money that goes into that. We've got equity built up because we've lived in it over the years and we've had all this appreciation. And you're telling me you're going to give me that number and you can close in 2 weeks? Great, let's do it. So this is the way we do deals at We Buy NKY Houses. Is we want everyone to know the numbers. We don't want them to be hoodwinked in any way. We show you, and then again, I'm a licensed real estate agent. And so when I come out, I'm showing you, here's the cash offer and here's why. Here are my estimated cost of repairs. Here's the profit I want to make. So you guys see all the numbers right there when I come out and give an offer. And then I also do a net sheet on, here's what I think if you were to list the property as is, what I think you would make, or here's what I think you could make if you fix it all up yourself. And again, it just goes back to what do you guys want to do? What's best for you? And then we work it out from there. All right, guys, I'm heading off to closing. I need to go sign some papers and turn this one over to the new owner who's gonna get a great house. I mean, this is such a cute little Tudor in Beechwood Schools. I mean, my dad, I'm really proud of him. He's so good at managing these jobs. The finished product turned out really, really, really nice. So I hope you guys can see that and see it in the work here. So that's one other nice component is if you sell it to a local cash buyer versus someone who's national, we take a lot of pride in these houses because we live here. This is our community. This is where we grew up. This is where I've got 5 kids. And so this is where we're raising our kids. So we care a lot. And it's always fun to take a home that needs a little bit of love like this one did and spruce it up and go ahead and sell it to the next homeowner who's gonna enjoy it for years. So guys, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful if you're thinking of selling your house, whether you're thinking about selling to an investor or you're looking to put it on a market, that you would consider us at We Buy NKY Houses, or on the listing side that you would consider us at Team Stanyo. Again, I'm gonna show you numbers either way. So if you have any questions, put them in the comments below. You can email me directly at eric.stanyo@kw.com. Thanks guys for watching this one and have a great day.